Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Nathan and I run the Wigan part of Just Blinds. We measure and fit blinds all around the northwest, predominantly Wigan and the surrounding areas. I've created this series because I really want to track us as a family running a business. Like we've been doing this for quite a few years now, especially my uncle who's been doing this, it's like 2010, 2011 sort of time. And he's sort of incorporated more and more of the family into it as the years have gone on. But we've never really documented it, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to sort of document how we run things. Show you guys everyone in the family and what roles we have, as well as just show that we aren't just a faceless company. You know, we aren't just a big brand that people just expect just because we cover quite a big area in the northwest. But I think it'd be nice for people to know, like, we are human and we do care a lot more than what people might think. On the face of, especially on the face of, if you just look at the website, or you know, you're ringing up and we're quite professional on the phone. So I think just to add that layer of, we are a family run business and we care a lot. It'd also be nice for me personally to be able to show my kids how I've sort of grown the company to the point, how I got there, all the good bits, all the bad bits, getting to there. So it'd be nice to document that for them as well. Not only that, but it also would be nice to show the rest of the team members how I run things as well, making sure that they know I'm on things. You know, one of the main goals of sort of the next 12 months is to pull myself away from doing the sort of day-to-day stuff, going out, doing the quoting. As much as I love doing the quoting, I much would prefer at the moment to be running the business rather than having to do it at 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, which is fine for the time being, but with 2 kids, running a business with a few members of staff is not easy to do when you're out on the road doing 7, 8 appointments a day, trying to juggle everything. So, and also the fact that I want to be doing less of the in the business and more on the business. So you're going to see that sort of transformation, how I do it, why I do it, and how long it's going to take me to get to that point. Because at this time period, we're in end of October now, which is like some of the busiest months. October and November, like 2 of the busiest months of the year. I'm happy because I know my lads aren't stressing around trying to get jobs done. I know every job's done for the customers, so I'm happy there. And we all get a nice little break early doors. So it's not all about trying to squeeze as much as possible when it comes to Christmas. You know, that 2 weeks where we shut down, the only 2 weeks of the year that we ever shut down fully. It's not trying to squeeze as many jobs as you can out of that. But I'd say as a business, I've definitely have changed a lot this year. We've just changed staff a tiny little bit. So we've got Paul back in. So Paul used to work for us back when we were just one big company. I'll come on to this when I do a bit more of a backstory, but we used to be one big company. Now we're split into like little companies, still the same sort of people running it, but we're split into a few different companies. So as much as we're still under the Just Blinds umbrella, each area has its own focus, which is great. So it works a lot better. Paul is unbelievably good fitter, fantastic with his paperwork. He goes above and beyond sort of every day really, and he still does since he's come back as well. He's been unbelievable for us. Sort of a go-to guy for things, to be honest. So Paul's come back into the team. He started back up about May time. So for a few months between sort of, I think it was like February and like sort of April, May, I was doing all the quoting myself, which wasn't great, but you've got to do what you've got to do when you run a business. You've got to just keep going. So he come back in May, and I knew that with my upcoming paternity, in sort of end of July, August at the time, I knew I needed another person. So we then took on Sean. Sean's been a breath of fresh air when it comes to taking on new staff that you've never known before. Absolutely fantastic guy. His knowledge on shutters is second to none, so it's tied in really well with us really pushing shutters in the last few months, because he's been perfect for that role, and he's doing fantastic so far. So glad to have Sean in the team, and we're hoping to get another Sean. So who adjusts blinds and what do they do? Well, obviously a name gives it away a little bit, but we measure and fit made to measure blinds and shutters in the northwest of England, mainly the Wigan and surrounding areas. So I run the Wigan area, my cousin Beck runs Manchester and does Liverpool as well, between her and Adam. My other cousin Amy runs Warrington and St Helens. My uncle's neighbour Paul, pretty much like family at this point, he runs Bolton and Preston, and we've got a couple of little guys. The guy runs Sheffield as well, but I'd say the main 4 core franchise areas are them 4 that I've just mentioned, like them 4 people together. So I have the smallest area out of the lot, but I do have the most concentrated area as well. So I'd say there's a lot of houses in Wigan compared to the space that's in here. But yeah, it's quite a concentrated area, to be fair. As much as the distance between the appointments isn't too much, if anyone knows Wigan itself, the traffic is fucking awful. So yeah, there's constant roadworks. So even though you might only be a mile or 2 away from your next appointment, it can still take you 20-30 minutes sometimes, depending on the time of day. I'm fully invested in running the business in Wigan, the town I grew up in. You know, my family working with me also. It's not just on my, it's not just me that we do well. It's not just on my head. I've got my mum and my sister. I've got all these people around, and I think my uncle Bill would have felt this as well when he was running things. We've got all these family members, and we want to show that we're not just a faceless company. We want to show that we all do care very much about doing a good job for people and being known as the #1 brand of blinds and shutters in the northwest, and for me especially Wigan. So I'm constantly trying to improve things, whether that's internal processes and systems, or whether that's what you see on the front face of things, so improving things on the website, improving what you see when you see us online, how you contact us, the customer journey from the minute you ring up and speak to my mum or my sister to the minute the blinds are fitted, making sure that everything is as good as it can be and constantly improving, because if we're not, then someone else will, and I want to make sure that we stay at the top of the game for that sort of industry, blinds and shutters. I think we've got a good reputation in the area, especially for Wigan. You know, at this moment in time of recording, we're at 453 5-star Google reviews, and I pride myself a lot on them reviews, because people want trust these days. People don't want the salesy sort of tactics, someone coming in and trying to sell them the dream and, you know, promising the world and delivering next to nothing, or giving people false promises. People don't want that these days. People want real, trusted things, and I think me putting my face to the brand on these YouTube videos, and showing everyone the team as well, especially in the office, where you wouldn't usually get to see the office unless you went to the showroom in Wigan. I think it's important for people to know, or at least see the workings of everything. So it's not just about making money for me. It's about the whole package that comes with that. End of the day, I think if people are enjoying their job as well, and in terms of fitters, if they enjoy what they do and they do a good job, then everyone wins. Customers happy, we're doing a good job for them. I think that it's super important to make sure that we're doing the best job we can, as though we'd want the job to be done in our own house as well. Like we do try and treat every job like it was our own house. That's one of the things that I get running through the fitters. You know, things do go wrong. You know, the blind might come the wrong colour, or it might come the wrong size, or whatever it is. But I think it's how you put it right what makes the difference between a good company and a bad company. Things don't always go perfectly in every situation ever. Things do happen to go wrong, and that might even be human errors. But we try and minimise that as much as possible. I'm constantly looking at different things to improve that on. But things do happen, so for me it's how we put that right, and how we look after that person once something does go wrong, to make sure it doesn't continually go wrong. This year has been a big shift in what we do, and I'll go later I'll go more into the big shift that we've done this year and how we come about that, and why we've gone from doing 4 years, I would say, of doing the same year, 4 years of running it and it just being the same year repeated, not really seeing much growth and just sort of doing same stuff, changing over to how we run it now this year, where I've had a massive mind shift change, where I'd say we're running a lot differently. Our goals are a lot different. We're tracking things a lot differently. But I think that's a whole episode on its own, if I'm honest, of how we went from just doing the same stuff every year to changing this year. So since Sean's been on board, we have pushed for shutters more and more, and plantation shutters has always been a thing that we've done. We've always offered them. We've just never really pushed them as like a core product. They've always just been like a, yeah, we'll do them if you want them sort of thing. So we notoriously, Just Blinds has used a subcontract to do the shutter work, but as shutters became more and more popular, and with them being a sort of bigger ticket item compared to the likes of blinds, we felt that we needed someone with that shutters experience. So when I was looking for someone to do the sales and fitting, when I was looking for blinds, I was also keeping in the back of my mind that I wanted someone that had a bit of knowledge on shutters. So Sean was perfect for that, and Sean's fitted straight into that role, and now he's our main guy for shutters, which is great. So I've got him and Paul who know how to do shutters. I know how to do the quoting side of things as well, so I'm quoting a few jobs with them as well. But the work of everyone is on a really good level like that. And we do have Chris as well. Yeah, Chris is a fitter who I share with Paul. So Chris works for me on Thursdays and Fridays, just doing fitting. I do have him doing quoting the odd time. He does know what he's doing with quoting. But I tend to have him mostly doing fitting because that's where the sort of bottleneck is. Now, in the new year, I'm going to be looking for another person to take on, mainly to release me from doing as much jobs, as much work in the business. So at this moment in time, I'm driving around. I'm driving to my next appointment. I'm doing quite a lot of the quoting, so my diary can be booked up 7-8 jobs of a day, sort of Monday to Friday, and Saturdays at the moment. So silly busy time of the year. We've got that many leads coming in, and it's a great thing to have. This is not a complaint one bit. This is a fantastic problem to have, where you've got that many leads coming in that you can't get to them quick enough. But it does become a problem when you can't get to people quick enough, and then they start looking elsewhere. So the people who are recommended or referred or even repeat business, that most likely will wait. But I don't even want them to wait either. I want them to ring up, get an appointment for their exact date they wanted it, fit in with their schedule perfectly. They're not having to wait too long. The last thing I want is, especially returning customers, where they might have only waited, a few days up to a week last time around, where they're now waiting 2 weeks just for an appointment for quoting. And then it's like a further couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for the fitting. So it's never really a problem all year round, but it is getting to the point where, especially with us involving more shutters as well, now where I'm going to need another person to either free me up a bit more or just free up the time slots in general. So that's the team that we've got. Really good team. We've obviously got the franchise owners who we work closely with all the time, so we're always in a WhatsApp group together, chatting about different things. Bill still has a play in the business where he controls the amount of leads coming in from the Google ads and sourcing all them, and he looks after the website as well and things like that. We also have some external people who we use. So we have a guy who looks after our website stuff. We have a guy who looks after our Facebook ads. We've got different suppliers who we're constantly in chatting to. We have a business that takes our phone calls out of hours that we work closely with. They're only up the road, like 20 minutes away from us, but they are now trained to answer our phones, so take the out of hours calls, email them over to us, and then Rachel spends an hour or two over the weekend, contacts them people, books them in, sorts any problems they have. So we try and not miss anything, because the last thing people want is you ring up and no one answers the phone. You either get frustrated or you look elsewhere. So it's about retaining that sort of lead, really. Once they come in, you don't want to lose them, because they are like gold dust. Really, you need to treat them like every job is going to be the £1 million job. Treat every customer the same and look after them the same. And that's how we've got to the point where a third of our business comes from repeats and referrals. So I track everything. I track where the leads are coming from. I ask my mum and my sister, make sure you ask on every set, and it's recorded as well, where has every lead come from. And I don't just track that for nothing, I actually use that in my data. So for example, we spent £1,000 plus wrapping one of the vans, Sean's van, this year. So I bought a van, got it wrapped, and in past I've always just got it sign written with simple sort of just blinds, number on, what we do, maybe even a list of the blinds that we offer as well. And it didn't really get much. So when I've looked over the periods of time when I've been tracking how much sales we've got from each lead source, the van has always got one or two in, but it just happens to be someone who's, oh yeah, I need blinds. So instead of having to ring up, I'll just grab the phone number off there. Well, the vans didn't really stand out as much as what they should have, really. You should use your vans as a sort of marketing tool. So we got Sean's van properly wrapped, and I'll put some images on screen right now, so you can see what that van looks like. And you can tell, compared to the likes of Paul's van or even Chris's van, where we've put a lot more thought into what goes on it. So I mean, it's not perfect, and I am going to change it the next time I get a van again, because I'm thinking even further and deeper into this now. But we thought about, how can we make it stand out? How can we get people to look at the van and go, yeah, I know exactly what them guys do. Perfect. It looks really professional. Looks nice. They've spent money on that. These look like a decent company. So that was the thought process behind Sean's van. And in fairness, I'll try and find the figures that I've got from my spreadsheets that I use to track all the lead source and the conversion ratio, revenue from each lead source, the average order value. I think we're on about 2,900 from that van since we got it wrapped. And before that it was like a couple £100 a month. But we're at the end of October now, and we've got close to £3,000 just from that van. And I remember getting the invoice for the wrapping and thinking, can I afford that? £1,200 or whatever it was, £1,000 plus at least, for something I can probably get done for £300. And I thought, no, let's get it done properly. Let's look professional. Let's make the van look really nice and stand out. And the point where we got a few jobs from it, I was like, right, every van going forward needs to have that level of signage onto it. It needs to have that level of wrapping onto it, because that is attracting the right level of customers. It is attracting business, and it is paid for itself. Like I have turned a profit from making sure that I've got the van wrapped properly and it looks professional. And I think that's over 3 jobs as well. So there's 3 different people who've seen the van and thought, I like the look of them guys, I'm going to give them a ring and go ahead with them. So I think when you look at the price or the cost of the wrapping, you think £1,200 or £1,000 plus. It's a lot of money to pay to have that done when you can get it done for cheaper elsewhere. But I think when we think like that, it's limited thinking. What we're not thinking about is what does it cost, but what does that bring in as well? Like, that's got £3,000 worth of revenue coming from that, just from that, and that is a one-off payment of the £1,000 plus as well. Like, I don't have to pay that again for at least a few years, until the van either needs to be replaced or it needs to be rewrapped or whatever it is. Okay, I think we'll call it there for episode 1 of the JB Diary. We touched on quite a few things today on the team and how we're set up and how we're looking to move in the future. In the next few episodes, we'll go through a bit more of what we plan on doing in the next 12 months, a few more install videos, and also a bit more into the backstory of Just Blinds as well. And probably more of the workings behind the scenes, so you might get more clips of me actually in this home office and what I get up to of an evening. I actually won this at the Entrepreneurs Convention this year, and it's got about £500 in it, which is great. Brought it home and it's absolutely huge. I mean, look at the thing. It's fucking massive. But I decided to not open it. One, because it isn't just easily opened. You can't get access to it. I was hoping there was some little thing to like open at the bottom, but there's not. You really have to smash it to open it. So I've decided it's just going to become a little savings pot for the kids. So all the change, all those little scraps go in there at the moment. So yeah, be a nice little holiday fund for the kids and spends for the kids at some point. But anyway, cheers for watching.